Hi everyone, good morning. It's Coco, your candy aunt here. And today I was going to work on a project. So let me explain. A few days ago I made this. So this is my version of a candy onigiri, which is a Japanese rice ball. And when I was done with it, I was looking at it, flipping it, in different directions. And I always do that because sometimes I find inspiration in the pieces that I make to make new pieces. And as I was looking at this, I was noticing that this looked like a side of a bow, right? Like if you compare it side by side, it looks just like the bow. And so I wanted to extend this out and basically make a bow using this as my inspirational piece. So that's what I'm going to do today. So I'm really excited because I've never I've never made a bow like this before, and so we're going to try. Okay? So first we're going to need some fishing line, and I'm going to be using 25 pound test fishing line, and I'm going to cut about, I don't know, maybe like 3 feet to make my triangular panel. So when I made this the first time, I made 2 triangular panels and then I stitched them together. So that's what I'm going to do. I kind of have an idea of what I'm going to make, but we'll see how that turns out. Okay. So this is more of a candy session because, like I said, I've never done this before. I'm sure I'm going to make a lot of mistakes. But I'm going to try to walk you through what I'm doing and talk you through it so that you can follow along, maybe. Okay, so whoops. So I'm going to look at this onigiri here as my sample. All right, so we're going to start with 3 beads on. Okay, 3 beads on the string, and I'm going to cross on that last bead so that it looks like this. I'm basically making a flat, I think this is a flat peyote triangle. So it looks like that. And I'm going to move my string to one side, pull it closer to one side so that I leave one side shorter. So this side is about, I don't know, I would say like, let's make it shorter. I would say like 6 inches or so. And then this side is the long side of the string. Okay. So, sorry. Okay. I'm going to add 2 beads on my long string. 2 beads on my long string, and then I'm going to go through this bead right here. And what that does, it's going to create this really cool looking pattern. I'm going to add 2 beads on the long string. Then I'm going to go through the next bead here. I'm going to add 2 beads on the long string. And then this one, you know what? I'm just going to make it simple. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through these 2 beads. So the string is going to go up through these 2 beads, and I'm going to flip it on the other side. I'm going to pull. So this is what it looks like. It looks like a triangle already, right? And then my string is coming out of this middle bead right here. Whoops, right there. And then this long string is coming out of this bead. Okay? So this long string again, it's coming out of the top of the triangle. It's coming out of the top of the triangle. So I'm going to add 2 beads. Like this. I'm going to add 1 bead. And I'm going to go through this bead here. I'm going to add 2 beads. And I'm going to go through here. So this is the 3 points of the triangle, right? 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to go through this point here. And here I added 2 beads. So now this is forming that second point of that triangle. Okay. I'm going to add 1 bead. And go down here. 2 beads. And then I'm going to go through this, the third point of the triangle right here. So it's going to look like that. Okay, let's rotate it again. Okay, so I'm going to add 1 bead here. Now, after I add this 1 bead, I'm going to pull the string through 2 beads. So I added my 1 bead, and I'm going to pull the string through 1, 2, 2 beads. So 1, 2, just like that. So it looks like this. And I could stop here, and I could make a small bow, right? So if I wanted to, I could stop here and just make 4 of these panels and make a small bow. But I'm going to go one more time. I'm going to add another layer because I want this bow to be a little bit bigger. So 2 beads on. And I always add 2 beads when I'm at the end, the corners. Okay, so this is the point, 3 points of the triangle. And the 3 points of my triangle is where I add my 2 beads. And like I said, I think this is called a peyote, flat peyote triangle. I'm not 100% sure. I think that's what it's called. I'm going to go through 1 bead here. I'm going to add another single bead. So if this is too fast for you, if I'm going way too fast, then I'm sure you could find a tutorial on how to make this triangle. And then you could check back later on my video to see what I do to put those together. So here I added 2 beads, and then I went through this bead here. So I'm going to do that again. You see the pattern? I'm going to add 1 bead here, I'm going to add 1 bead here, and I'm going to add 2 beads here. So I'm filling the gap. So 1 bead here. Another bead here. And then I'm going to add 2 beads. Oops. I'm going to go through this end here. Okay. Let me just double check this. I think, no, let's go. This isn't even because I have these 2 beads here, but I don't have the 2 beads here. So I'm going to go again right here. So 1 bead. I'm trying to make each side the same. So I'm trying to make like a triangle that has equal sides. Okay, so here I'm at the end. And I know I'm at the end because these beads look a little weird. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my string and I'm going to go through this bead. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, okay, I don't have my pointer stick. Yes, I do. Pointer stick. Here we go. Okay, so one more time. So I'm going to take this string right here. I'm going to take the long string and I'm going to go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 beads. And the reason why I want to do that is because I want this end of this string to meet up with the end of this string so that I can tie it off. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So you'll notice now that my strings are meeting right here, so I could tie it off right here. Okay, for those of you that don't want the knot in the middle, you know, you could shift the string around and you could pretty much tie it wherever you want, as long as the two ends of the string meet. So I'm going to do a single knot here and then a double knot. 1, 2. Okay. So it looks like this. See how that knot is right in the middle? So if that bothers you, just string it through several more times and just have the string meet somewhere else. This doesn't bother me too much just because this is my prototype. I'm just kind of, this is the first time I'm doing it, so I just want to see if it works. Okay, so I'm going to dab that knot. Yeah, in hindsight, I should have probably taken the string, the one that was here, and maybe gone up like here, and then my string could have met here, and then if I tied it off here, it would have been hiding between these two beads. Probably would have worked better. But what's done is done. So I'm gonna go up here, maybe I'll go up here. So I'm pulling my string through these beads here so I could cut the string. That way I'm hiding the string a little bit, because if I just cut the knot here, then I have these like little pieces sticking out here, and that actually bothers me. Okay, so I am pulling out these beads a little bit to make them look nice and even. So this is, like I said, this is a 25-pound fishing line, and I really like working with a 25-pound for this, just because this is really structured and it's nice and strong and it's not squishy, and I like that feeling. But if you have fishing line that's thinner, like the 20-pound or even the 15-pound, it shouldn't be an issue. But just know that yours might be a little bit squishier. But work with the material that you like. You know, if your preference is, for example, like this elastic, go for it. It doesn't matter what you use, as long as you like it. But for me, this is my preference. I think it gives it a good shape, and it's going to hold it really well. Okay, so I'm going to be back. I'm going to make 3 more of these.